Get us toasting here. Uh-oh. I know. We'll fluff the bangs.
You gotta fluff your bangs up.
Over here.
I don't like these pieces.
I can see you both.
I can't. You know I'm not. She's a super mobile.
Oh, hey. That's my Aunt Nancy and my mom Marlene. They're sisters who have lots in common. But one of the main things that I find interesting is they both chose to have kids with black men. And there we are again. That's my brother Rome. Those are my cousins Angel and Micah. That's me, Nicole, and my cousin Destiny. This is just a slice of our lives. If you put their last names together, Knowles and Salaberrios, you get the KnowlBerries. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. I got stuff on my lips. Ah. Don't be taking all this. Come on.
It's just a video camera.
I know. Are you? I'm freezing, and I'm trying to hold it.
Well, there's nothing to hold.
Anyway, salute. Salute.
Oh my God.
Happy Halloween.
There you go.
Happy Halloween 2013.
For a sugar stick.
Okay, cut.
Oh, you gotta get us now. Oh boy.
Oh,
there
us
she is.
together.
There she is. And that's me, the one putting this project together. Where are we going today?
Okay,
Come on, put it out there.
Chicago. Chicago.
We're gonna go see Chicago at ACL.
You're gonna have to edit high. Oh, delete that.
What'd you say?
I
It was
missed
so
the
wrong.
word. I speak because I don't like for things. But you are that person.
Remember, you drunk
I'll
already?
deal with it. Yes. It kind of didn't eat not too. I thought. No.
I didn't really eat either, so I'm a little drunk too. Had some pineapple.
Don't worry, we're not going to get all intellectual on you when you revisit this video.
And my battery's
years
going
later.
already? My God, I don't know how to.
Say it again.
My battery's already. I didn't plug.
Thank God the battery. Here's to the batteries dying. Thanks, batteries.
Well, thank God we have phones with cameras.
Ixnay to that, but I'll drink to anything. I have 6 glasses of wine a year, so shut up.
No, you don't. Oh my God.
Oh no,
Gotta move that thing.
Wow, that was so close. Oh my God. Okay.
I'll miss. So
You're used
okay.
to this. Was this a third-person interview?
This is Being Biracial, episode 1, take 1. Bam! So we all ready. Phones are turned down, we turned up, and I'm about to hand it over to Nicole.
All right, so let's do some introductions first. My name is Nicole. I live in Austin, Texas. I am someone who loves to write, and I love expressing myself. This is a topic that I've been talking about for years. So here we are. My brother's here and my cousin's here, so let's introduce my brother first.
What's that all about? Because I'm the lightest skin, now I get to fucking...
To help heal the world and give my perspective, help people question where they're coming from and why they're being pressed to be on a side, and is there a side? Those are the things I want to get into, so let's get into it. Micah? My cousin Mike is over here. He's the lightest one, so we make sure he goes last to reverse it all.
I'm the lightest, tallest, and skinniest one. And the youngest. Yeah, I'm biracial. I actually call myself triracial, really, if I was to get down to it. But I'm a musician, artist, filmmaker, creator. Just, trying to find my way. I want to be enlightened. I really do. I believe it's possible. And I like to share my knowledge. And I feel like the biracial issue, well, easy to sweep under the rug. You know, it's becoming more and more prevalent everywhere you look. And there are issues and there's challenges unique to being biracial, raising biracial children. A lot of this, for me, it's like helping parents raise biracial kids because they need to know a couple things about it. So yeah, that's my intro. Now, back to Nicole.
All right, so today we decided to start the first podcast talking about how we grew up and what it was like being biracial. It's our own personal experiences. We just want to talk about the basic structure and foundation of how our family raised us, who raised us, and who had the most influence on who we are today. Every family's different, but this is our story, so we're just going to take it from wherever we decide to take it from.
Let's start way back.
I mean, we can go back as far as you guys want.
I want to start with how our moms are related. Both our moms are white.
Right.
Now, they come from an all-white family, but somehow in our family, in our parents' generation, every single one of them, with 6 of them, so every single one that had children had biracial children.
Right. 2
with a black man and 1 with a Mexican man.
Right.
We're a highly biracial family. So that's interesting. I think that's very interesting that 2 white sisters both had children with black men, and that's like the farthest back that we need to go. Just want to throw that out there.
So we didn't have any prejudice on our white side, to suffice to say. I didn't feel it throughout my whole life, so we're not coming from a white side that was prejudiced. But go ahead.
Yeah. Both our moms are white, which is, interesting, I think unique, and it's different when your mom is white or your dad is white when you're being biracial.
I mean, so how far do we want to go back? Do we want to talk about maybe how they got together? Our moms got with our dads?
I don't really care about that. Do you guys?
They got together and they had sex.
They were attracted to have sex. And they didn't use a condom.
Let's say it was the 60s, right?
It was the 60s.
It was the 60s, and it was a turbulent time, and everyone was exploring who they were, and there was a lot of freedom, and the who you could love and who you could be with and have sex with was opening up, and there were no boundaries. And I think for some reason, I mean, from the family they grew up in, they felt comfortable going out there and exploring, and part of that exploration was feeling comfortable being around black men.
I think
what is that?
I think we have a rebel lineage.
We do.
All the way back to our grandfather. He didn't fit in. He was just, he's different. So everybody in our family is a little different.
Our white side doesn't fit into white society.
Exactly. Yeah. That's something they don't.
And let me tell you something. Jonathan, our uncle, my mom's sister, he told me a story yesterday that our grandfather, his father, when he was young, was milked by a black woman, the mammy of the house.
Milked? You mean
nurse, sorry. He was nursed. Not milked. Wow. But yeah,
yes.
he was nursed by a black woman because I guess his mother and whatnot were out doing things. So she, when he was hungry, would just nurse him from her nipple, and so
that's the beginning.
That's why they say, like he was saying, that's why we were always into black music. When they were young in their white family, they always resonated with black music. So there's something to that. I didn't know that. I just heard that yesterday. So
let's just take it from the fact that they come from a different type of
white family,
mm-hmm. And they felt comfortable, exploring their sexuality and what they felt was, who could be the father of their children. Next thing you know, they're married. Our mom married our dad. Your mom married mm-hmm. your dad, and things didn't quite work out for whatever reason. We don't have to go into all that. It's just life. And then here we are, as biracial children, and our moms did not stay with our dads.
Well, my father passed away when I was 2, and then since my mom moved to California away from New York, I was basically cut off from the whole lineage of
your black family,
my black Puerto Rican family, until Facebook happened. That I had no contact with them.
Wow. So our mom and our dad divorced when we were like 2 and 3.
Early, yeah.
So again, we were both raised by single women.
Single white women. With brown kids.
So let's name how many kids we have. So there's Rome, Derek and myself, brother and sister, mm-hmm. and then you have
Sister Angel,
and she's also biracial.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have an older sister.
Yes, who's all white.
All white. So your mom first had a child with a white man. and then the 2 biracial children came afterwards. So there's
Yes.
5 of us kids all together. So I think it's important to talk about the fact that when we all came together. I mean, is there?
Well, it was in New York. That's another key
We
point.
were all born in New York.
Yeah.
We were born, me and Nicole were born in Yonkers, and Micah was born in Poughkeepsie, right?
Poughkeepsie.
Oh, no, it's
Peekskill?
Peekskill.
Of skill. That's a lot
Peekskill.
different than Poughkeepsie.
I ain't from no Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie. I beat up someone from Poughkeepsie once. It's about all I know about Poughkeepsie.
So, okay, so go ahead.
So we are New Yorkers, you know, and we're coming from that, and we did move to the West Coast in a very progressive area. So we're not coming. We're biracial people coming from very diverse areas.
Yeah, that move is significant. We are New Yorkers, born in New York, parents met in New York, all New York, New York, New York. But then our moms have the audacity to just straight up move all the way to California, just jumping out of the tree with no safety net. And basically, we were all raised on the West Coast from that point on.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about that. So our moms.
Do you guys remember the drive?
I do remember the drive because we
I
were
remember-
older.
I don't
We
remember.
were 7 and 8. What? We were 7 and 8, maybe.
But all
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
all I know is I supposedly cried the whole way.
Yeah, you did. And Micah was 2. Then maybe your sister was 3, and then Destiny was 5, and who knows? So we were all under 10.
Yeah.
We were all under 10. All of us kids. So our moms basically. Said it's time, let's get out of New York, let's get away from my mom was getting away from her parents, and your mom was getting away from who knows
The
what.
city, I think.
The city, she just wanted something else. And our uncle was already in California saying, come on down, bring the family, and, we'll start a new life. So our moms got together. We all were put into my mom's 1976 Silver Nova, and we drove. Took us about 7 days, I believe a week. To drive from
A week?
Yes. A
Damn, slow ass driver.
week. To drive from the East Coast all the way to California. And I mean, like I said, that drive was their freedom. They just were leaving, and there was a different feel and a vibe once we left New York.
I think it was the year 1978.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a 76 Nova, but 1978.
Then she had a new car?
It was a pretty new car.
How'd you get that?
From
Fred,
her dad.
Brought it, yeah.
So, that was the beginning. I mean, 2 white women are just taking us and moving, and we don't know what we're getting ourselves into, but they wanted to have a different type of life, and we were fatherless, and we show up in California, and we started a new life. And anyone want to take it from there? Like, what you remember, where we lived, and what we did, or is there anything significant about that?
What was the
Or do we
difference?
move
You
on?
guys, basically, they stopped together, but then they kind of separated pretty quick, right? You guys stayed in Concord, and we went to Antioch?
Yes. There was sisterly
Friction.
issues and friction, and they had never lived together. Because we all moved to California and we all lived in one house. And that had never happened before. We had all never lived together. So it was,
We have a best friend, worst enemy tendency.
Yes.
With our moms.
Another thing I found interesting is the fact that our moms, once they got settled in, they wanted to start dating again. I mean, it's a natural part of life, and I never saw my mom date another black man, and they both found white men.
Yeah, my mom as well never really dated another black man. Or
Now,
Mexican. Stayed straight white.
I mean,
So
let's
they-
talk
Let's
about-
focus on that for a second. That's interesting because
Well, they weren't in New York anymore, where there was
There was
a
plenty
way
of
black
to.
men in Bay Area.
Yeah, but in New York, you rub elbows with black people. In the Bay Area, you got to go to a black neighborhood if you're white. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did live in a suburban area.
I
we
remember
lived
a
in
lot of
Concord
different kind of, Filipinos, Japanese, black.
That's
Cambodian.
kids, like grown black men. It's a different. Seems to me like it's in New York City. It's much easier to meet a grown black man as opposed to.
I mean, there's a lot more walking around. There's a
Yeah.
lot tighter spaces.
And they're more throughout. They're mixed throughout New York City. While everywhere
Yeah.
else I ever go, there's places where they're at. Yeah, it's pockets.
Yeah.
And you sporadically see them, but dating is hard. You need a lot of variety to really find And then the clubs were like things are mixed. Like you'll go to a club in New York and they'll be very mixed.
Yeah.
Not many people are going to be comfortable going to an all black club. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. By themselves or with their white little friends.
Right. So we moved to basically an all white neighborhood. There was sprinkles, a lot of different ethnicities, but as far as what our moms dated and also who our friends were. I mean, we would have had a different life if we lived in New York City, but I don't think we would have been living. Who knows what our life would have been like? That's irrelevant. But this is the reality of where we moved. We moved to a suburban white neighborhood, and our moms dated something. Why? What do you think? Like, okay, so they started my mom started getting into country music, and I guess she always liked rock and roll, but it seemed to be something different come over her. Like when she was in New York, I feel like she was more into R&B, and she went to Harlem, she went to the Apollo Theater, she saw Gladys Knight. I think I remember those stories, and then once it was like in California, it was like she was more influenced by rock music and country music and Chicago and whoever else she was listening to, and Foreigner. Remember, I feel like everything changed music-wise, and it changed her, and that's kind of had an impact on how we grew up, because now we're being influenced by less people of color, and
I think too, I don't. For one, let's put into perspective. I don't think either one of our moms planned on having us. It just kind of came, and then they dealt with it. Like some women really prepare and get the right mate. It just happened. We're here, so let's start from there. But then also too, our dad, because at that time I was born on her 20th birthday. So as she's going through life, she doesn't have much experience. Everybody's trying new stuff. They don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to play out, but it's cool to date somebody different, and that's what people are doing at that time.
Right.
And as they got to see how it played out, which it turns out my dad basically slapped my mom out of the blue after my mom was trying to live up to everything. She goes, okay, am I wrong or is he wrong? So she goes, I'm going to try to do everything he says so I won't get hit again. And then she did it. She said she committed to making him dinner when home, this and that, and she still got the slap out of the blue when she wasn't expecting it. Mm-hmm. And she said, that day, I played like nothing was a problem. He went to work, I was out. So she did have the strength to leave, which a lot of women don't. Mm-hmm. So I give my mom a lot of props on that. So maybe that's one of the reasons why she didn't date a black man again. She had a bad taste in her mouth. But then it turns out, as we know, some of her white boys smacked her around a little bit too. So.
Good point.
All right, what about your mom? Your mom's a different type of woman than my mom, I would say. Your mom had a lot of influence on my mom, but your mom is more of a hippie and she's like Bob Marley, and she's Jimi Hendrix,
Smoking weed.
I want to pose a question to you, too, about your mom, because I don't really know it. If you might not know it, but what was the thing that made her and him break apart where she could leave him behind?
I think they had already broken up, actually. He was in New York. She said he would wake up every morning. She said he would wake up every morning like bright-eyed and clear-eyed, and then go to work, and then he would come back just hammered, every day. Just that was the pattern. And then he was seeing other women on the side, and she just had enough. So they broke up while she was in the city, and then they were starting to get back together. Mm-hmm. So and he was going to come out and meet her in California when he died in New York.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah, because I even remember images of your father being fucked up.
Yeah.
I remember some of that shit.
I don't remember any of that.
I don't remember any of it either.
He would get tore the fuck up. Now looking back, you just triggered it, because I remember little instances that I just totally kind of blacked out on. But he would go tore deep. Baby, just tore the fuck up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say about your mom? I mean, as far as, because your mom, I mean, this is what I always consider your mom, and the way you guys talk about certain women, like white women, like your mom's a roots woman, like, Would you consider your mom that, or does she consider herself that?
I guess I don't know. I think she's just like kind of her own breed. She's kind of like a rebel hippie. She's not really like true hippie where she hangs out with other hippies. She's just like a rebel hippie spirit, like our lineage is. And she just is an artist, does her own thing, doesn't really fit in with anybody. But if the closest is hippie, but it's hard to classify anybody, I guess.
Oh, really? Oh, is it? Oh.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Okay. So your mom, that's what I always remember. Your mom's kind of a hippie, and we were, so someone said something, I guess, the other day about what is race, what is being black, what is being white, and they said, oh, it's the culture, it's the way you move, it's the dance, it's the food, it's the clothing, and all this stuff, you know, and it's about your spirit. And, you know, so to me, a huge part of the way we grew up was the way we ate. I mean, is that something to tap into?
Well, I think a lot of our future, you know, podcasts are gonna have to, you know, talk about diet, because it affects everything. It affects your energy levels. It corrupts your energy. So we're gonna go into it. So I think we lucked out in the sense that somebody like his mother made sure that we're eating brown rice and beans and being conscious of that. So as we got older, we moved away from it, but then we realized, oh shit, she was right. We gotta eat better. This ain't no joke. You know what I mean? Or some people never even have that point of reference. Yeah. So I thank her for that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's not so much going into like diet, but I just like the way like we grew up. To me, definitely was unconventional. You know, and that's why I have a hard time just leaving, saying I'm just black or not identifying with my white side, because I feel like a huge part of the white side comes from your mom, the way we ate, this hippie kind of lifestyle food that everyone made fun of everywhere, like who came into our world. What's this brown rice, this goulash, and these vegetables, and you guys don't eat meat, and this and that and the other. I mean, I'm sure
you guys are vegetarian? Or?
Well, your mom, you know, we ate meat, but it was like, you know, we definitely ate a different type of food, you know, and I think it had a big...
It was only turkey dogs or chicken dogs and eggs that I remember the protein we ate.
But there was no, I don't remember going to any big grocery stores. It was always going to health food stores and getting things in bulk. It was a very, like, that was something that also made me distinguish ourselves from like the standard white America or the black America, like you know, in my world. Like I just felt like that was a big influence on this biracial identities. Like we just didn't really fit into a mold of how we ate.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, like, you know, like we said, our white side doesn't fit in. So even if we were white, we would still be sticking out because we'd be all we'd be like, you know, eating health food when no one else is and doing shit like that. So we are like, we're so far away from fitting. We're like exponentially out of the box. So, like with the food thing, it was with me from day one. So I never even knew anything different. Eating organic, eating rice and beans. But you guys probably had too many worlds. You had your dad's world that you died in. You had your mom when my mom wasn't around, and then you had when my mom was around.
Exactly.
So you knew you
always had that.
Yeah, I didn't know you have.
Yeah, our mom was like, she was, you know, didn't really understand, you know, and she was like, you know, wanted to make us happy, so we ate a lot of fast food, and she liked that. Your mom was definitely in a deeper world of health, and
right when they broke up, we're back to 2-liter Coke bottles and Pepsi, like a motherfucker.
White bread and butter, and lots of Taco Bell, and you know, eating out at fast food restaurants, and then. You know, so I mean, I'm just saying, like, to me, it's something that was a huge part of growing up, and then it's something that sticks with me today. So I can't deny that, and to me, that's like the white part, but it's also that other white part. You know, it's just like a lot of different things that are going on. It's just I can't. It's a huge part of the mix, and food. It sticks with me today.
See, that's why I think that we transcended, and now we have to revisit being biracial. Because our white side was already different from their white people. So we had a comfort, or not a comfort, just a more in-depth way of looking at things, because they were dealing with being outcast in white society and then having biracial kids. And so all this, so we jumped over all the black issues in a lot of ways because we went straight to spiritual. Yeah. Which is where you're going to find the remedy to all this stuff. You got to go a little spiritual and pass it and then come back to it. You know what I mean? I think that's why we didn't have this. Even though we were dealing with, the first time I dealt with it was when I went and lived in San Francisco and started going into the city schools with more black people. And I was prepubescent. That's when I had to start being forced to define who I was and whose side I was on.
I think that's important. Like what